Welcome back to
Okay,
part
we're back
two,
with,
point of view.
Yep, back to part two. So I was asking with Elliot, we see how the Sixers did it. You know, they had some nice pieces at back in the day. Who was there? With Turner,
Yeah.
Evan Turner, good piece. But this is a crazy thing. I'd even compare an RJ Barrett to an Evan Turner. Good piece. Can't really. I wouldn't say you're going to really win with him, though. I mean, you may make an 8 seed. In your opinion, should the Knicks just start out and try to do their own version of a process where they can at least not be a laughingstock anymore and make the playoffs?
God, I don't know. The process worked in theory because you got Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. But the six other draft picks that you picked were all busts. From Micah Carter-Williams to Nowhere's Noel to all these pieces. So I don't know if at this point they're so bad, maybe they should try it. But I don't think you need to trade RJ Barrett to try it because the team is so bad that that's not even necessary. It's just like one of those things where it's just like if he's I don't know. It's hard to say just because they're so awful, and does getting rid of him make it that much better? Because you're going to need more than one piece to do that. And RJ Barrett's literally the only thing of value. So I would keep RJ Barrett personally, but they're going to be so bad they're going to end up in the lottery every year until they can get this thing right.
All right. With the RJ Barrett situation, though, do you think that at the end of the day, I mean, I know they wanted Zion at all. With the health of Zion, do you think the Knicks could have actually looked in to the best player from last year's draft?
No, because the best player from last year's draft is in Memphis. If they don't get Zion, they take not RJ Barrett, John Morant, then that's a blessing in disguise. But they picked third, not second, and Memphis did what they were supposed to do, and they picked the best player available in that draft. And Zion, if he's healthy, is going to be amazing. But I don't think they looked into anything because RJ Barrett has been pretty good. John Morant's been insane. Zion's been insane when he's played. And then there's even some other picks below that did pretty well. So it's just like I don't think they just ended up with RJ Barrett. However, the potential of RJ Barrett is no joke. Before last year's college basketball season, he would have been the number one pick of the draft. He was projected to go number one before they went to Duke together, and Zion basically exploded. But yeah, I don't think they've somehow looked into the next big star in the NBA. Memphis did, but not New York.
What do you think RJ Barrett's ceiling is? Do you think maybe like a multiple-time All-Star?
Like Gilbert Arenas maybe. So make a couple All-Star games, a 20-point game scorer, someone who can have the moment occasionally, but he's not transcendent, if that makes sense.
I got you. So get off the basketball topic now, and I agree with that. I've heard, and I want to talk about Syria. I've heard some of the most insane things. I'm not going to say the person's name. I'm not going to give away even anything to give away, any affiliation or anything. Somebody came out to me the other day, and they were a Man United fan. They told me dead to my face, straight face, Mason Greenwood is better than Ciro Immobile. Why do you think people where's the disrespect coming from?
Oh my God, I don't know. Really, Greenwood?
And this person knows football. This person's been a football fan for about 14 years. And he's only 22.
Good God. I mean, look, if you had said Rashford is better than Immobile, still wrong. But okay, like I understand it a little bit, but Mason Greenwood isn't even on the same stratosphere as Ciro Immobile. I don't understand this. I think it's the false narratives about Serie A that it's where Italian football was in 2006. They think it's a defensive league when it's basically the polar opposite of that, where it's one of the highest scoring leagues in world football last 3 years. And Immobile is one of the best strikers in the world. I don't care what league he plays in. I don't care what team he plays for. He's just simply one of the best strikers that's going right now. And he's coming off a season where he scored over 40 goals, and Greenwood has been at Man United for a cup of coffee. And Greenwood does one, like from what I've seen from Greenwood, he's a great finisher. He's got a great shot on him, but he doesn't do anything else. He's just primarily a goal scorer, where Immobile does absolutely everything. Man United are bad. If you take Greenwood away from them, they're still bad. If you take Immobile out of Lazio, they don't look the same. They don't operate the same. They're not on the same wavelength. They're not that dominant team that we see, where Mason Greenwood is way more replaceable than Ciro Immobile. Ciro Immobile is the best striker in Italian football at this moment, and as far as I'm concerned, I think it's pretty a foregone conclusion. You can put Zapata in there too. I think that's a decent shot, but Ciro Immobile is just one of the best strikers going right now. He is a goal-scoring machine, and his team just isn't the same without him.
All right. Yeah, I agree. It's egregious and absurd. I can't defend this as a Premier League fan. I can't. I'm sorry. And I want Greenwood to be better. I do.
Yeah.
I want my league to be the best. And you know me, I have a very soft spot. I have tons of friends from England, like genuine friends from England that I've known for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to do well in the World Cup and everything and on the international stage.
Right.
I can't defend this. Simply, I cannot defend this. I think it's like we know, I don't even know like how to compare it to. Like, you know, it'd be like saying
Devin Booker's better than LeBron James.
Exactly. Egregious. Absolutely egregious.
That's basically what it is.
I've heard, you know what, Guru, and, you know, I don't think that Serie A is the best league in the world. You know this, but
I don't either.
I am still at the point in my life, though, where I'm like, really? Like, you know, also, by the way, if Paul Dybala leads Juventus to the league and maybe even a double, he's my Ballon d'Or winner. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I think if he wins with this Juventus under Pirlo in his first season, he has to win it. I don't care what anybody says.
All right. So now to my next topic for you. Let's preview a big match. And I want you to like give us like a deep dive and preview.
Okay.
We got tons of time tonight. AC Milan versus Inter Milan. Now on our other show we have an AC Milan. I mean, God, she's gonna kill me if I said AC Milan fan. We have an Inter Milan fan. That being said, can you give us your honest to God prediction? And me and you have talked. Can you give us your honest to God prediction why, if there's any winner, AC Milan's going to win this, and give us a deep reason or a deep dive?
Okay. I'm glad you brought this up because when we talked about this yesterday, I missed I didn't do it on purpose, but I missed a point that I wanted to make after I listened to it back. So I do think this is going to be a draw. So I just want to make that clear. I think that Milan hasn't played anybody. Inter haven't played well. So it's like one of those weird ones where it just feels like a draw. But if there's a winner, it's going to be AC Milan because, look, obviously Milan have an advantage in goalkeeper. Their defense is probably pretty even. Their midfield's way better. Their attacking options, Inter has a big advantage. Inter can't create anything. Their midfield is a complete disaster. Barella's been okay, and then there's other pieces that have been decent at times, but they can't create anything. Their best creator is Lautaro Martinez, who is a striker. Their best creator is the person who's scoring most of their goals this season. So if you can't create anything from the midfield, you can't get the ball through Lukaku and Martinez, where Milan may not be the most creative midfield, but they have guys like Kessie and Çalhanoğlu and Benacer and Tonali, and those guys they have the ability to create offense and attacking football to Zlatan or Rebic or whoever's starting up front, Leao even maybe. So there's going to be, look, I think it's going to be a tie, but Milan will create more chances for their strikers to deliver. The question is whether or not AC Milan will finish those chances. I don't see Milan being able to create very much in this game because they haven't done it all season. There are teams who have not gotten 7 points out of 9 who have a better midfield. Their midfield is an absolute disaster. And now it really seems like losing out on Sandro Tonali was the worst thing that happened to them this season because they got no sense of anything. Barella is the only player really doing much of anything. Raj is not really playing much. Vidal's had moments, but it's just like they're not creating enough for Milan to do it. And those strikers up top with Martinez and Lukaku, you can't get much better than that. But if you can't get them the ball and they have to create their own instant offense, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Inter Milan really to have that moment in this game. If Lautaro Martinez is brilliant and he has one of those games where he just dominates and they win it, or Lukaku has a similar game, that's one thing. But if their midfield can't create anything with their attack, and that's why AC Milan have a much better chance, because even if they miss a bunch of chances, there'll be more opportunities for them to score because their midfield will link up with their attack, where Inter Milan their attack is linked up by just the fact that the most creative player is their striker, and you can't, and that's just a bad sign when your midfield is awful.
All right. So for you, and this is a tough question actually. After obviously you think AC Milan's going to win. Now to the next big game of the weekend, and I was really looking forward to the actual test, but Kevin De Bruyne is extremely doubtful and most likely out. We've seen how garbage City looked this year, and this is going to sound crazy because Arsenal's not been the greatest since the start of 2017. Do you think this is starting to get back to a time where we're like, hey, when you lose a player, Arsenal can come in and absolutely dominate you and kick your ass? Do you think we're starting to get back to that point?
I think it's possible. KDB is one of the best players in the world. Without him, it's not going to be the same. Their defense is not very good. There's not actually a lot of the individually I like a lot of these players, but as a team, I don't like him as much. And I think Arsenal has a great chance to take advantage of City in this situation. And I know it's one game, and I don't want to keep bringing this up. Leicester scored 5 on top of them, and Arsenal is a much better team than Leicester. And with Aubameyang and Lacazette and now Partey and other pieces, as long as with a decent defense and a good goalkeeper, without KDB creating opportunities for City, it's going to be difficult. I don't think they're going to be shut out, but I think now more than ever, Man City, will take the L in this situation, in my opinion.
All right. So we're going to get really deep into this. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think there's something special going on with the manager we have and everything, and the fact that Stan Kroenke spent money, which blows my mind.
Yeah.
Is there something special going on in North London? And before anybody says, well, Spurs, listen, Spurs have won fuck all. And I know we try to keep professional here, but I got to say this. You're a minnow. Do you actually think North London is going to be a place to watch football again and enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not. I've said on the past that he has certain glimpses of some great managers. I don't think he's at that level yet, but the bottom line is you got your man. I don't think you're going to need to look for another manager in any time soon. And I'm not saying he's going to stay there for 20 years or anything like that, but Arsenal definitely have something special. And I think Spurs at this point are irrelevant to the Champions League. I'm sorry. I just don't buy it. Mourinho is an all-time great manager, at least not the best ever or anything like that, but he has done some incredible things in his career. They got good players with Harry Kane and Son and others, but look, Arsenal is just better in every way, in every facet. And I think potentially the way the Premier League is going, Arsenal could be in a position with this manager to win a couple of trophies, even the Premier League in the next couple of years. And I suspect that they will not go in empty-handed trophy-wise this season either.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. So things shift the Premier League, obviously, year after year. Do you think anything will get better for Man United anytime soon?
No, I'll be surprised if they finish in the top 10. They just look horrendous, and I keep going back to this, but there's a reason. There's a reason. Well, yes, they didn't reach the financial price of Dortmund, but at this point, even if Man United go in for Jadon Sancho again next season, I doubt I bet that he plays it down and doesn't even consider Man United anymore. They're in such a bad situation. Their owners are horrendous. Their transfer policy was awful. Their manager doesn't know what he's doing, and most of their players are below average. Rashford is the shining star of this team, and even if he has a 30-goal season, it won't be enough for them to really be anything significant.
All right. What do you think? And honestly, what do you think it takes for them to get back to the level that they're supposed to be?
That's a hard one. I think nothing's gonna happen until until the club is sold to somebody else who's going to invest and try to build something special. I think that's where it starts. They need a new manager, but again, I don't think any top manager would want to go there now. And I'm not sure it's a destination for players either. So you're gonna have to buy young and try to build something. Similarly to what Roma has done, and similar to what some of these other teams who building young have done. But I think nothing changes until the club is sold to somebody who's willing to take care to do what they're supposed to do and build this team back into what it once was. But until there's a sale, there's nothing to talk about, and they're just going to be irrelevant.
So now this is crazy to me that they're not irrelevant. And then Everton is.
Yeah.
And me and you, we love the fact that Everton's back where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's going to be like and I don't want to make Man United fans mad. Actually, I really don't care. Do you think it's going to be a dynamic for a while? Man United are going to be like the Everton, like 7-6-5, finish, and Everton are going to be where Man United are supposed to be. Do you think could you see like a shift happening there?
Yeah, Man United and Everton are not even close in terms of where they are at this point. We love Carlo Ancelotti. He's a serial winner. He's won the Champions League 3 different times. He's won with AC Milan. He was successful with Chelsea, Bayern. Great player from Roma, won championships as a player with AC Milan, and so on and so forth. So he's a great manager. I mean, as far as value for money, they had the best transfer of the entire transfer window with Allen, who's a 60 million player that they got for 30 or 25, and then they got James Rodriguez from Real Madrid. They're really building this team into something that's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and it just seems like they're all the things that Man United wish they were right now. They have a great manager, good young pieces, and they made great transfer business this summer. So. I think they're going to switch places at least temporarily because I don't see a way Man United sort of becomes relevant again anytime soon.
All right. I agree with that, and to be frank, I'm kind of happy about that. I know we're not supposed to be biased, but
yeah, I am too. After the Man United's handling of the Smalling transfer, I'm actually really glad that they're so off this season.
Do you think Ole makes it past Christmas?
I think it's possible just because Man United fans and the people there want to give him a chance because he scored that 1 goal in the Champions League final. But as a manager, he's done nothing to suggest that he deserves leeway. I would guess that he's not going to make it to Christmas. I would guess he gets sacked before then. But again, Man United might give him more of a leeway just because of what he did as a player.
Yeah, but does that matter in your opinion?
No, it doesn't matter. But that's not. I think that's the thought process of Man United. It's not the way I feel. If you can't perform, you can't perform. I don't care how many goals or assists or whatever you had in your career with this club. That should not matter, and I don't think it does matter. But Man United, I think, view it differently. They want to give him a chance just because he was that player one time.
All right. So I have 2 more questions for you before we wrap up tonight.
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yep.
First of all, are Roma going to make the Champions League?
This season,
Yeah.
nah. I won't say no chance because I think AC Milan might be missing a piece, and I think as far as the rest of it, Lazio could still push for that spot. And there's obviously a lot of good teams in a great league, but I would say no. But there's a chance because I'll say it. I've said this once and I'll say it again. Roma have the best defense in the league, and if we move to a two-striker formation, allowing our new striker to play with Dzeko, and if we get Milk in January, then we have a fighting chance to do it. I still think it's unlikely, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. I think it's somewhat possible.
All right, and my last question is, who wins the Premier League?
Man, I don't want to go with this, but you know what? Screw it. Arsenal's going to win the Premier League. At this point, I can't make another distinction because I have not been impressed with any of the other teams that are supposed to be good this season. And I think, if you go out to City and they crush you or something, then maybe I have a different opinion. But based on what I've seen so far, I think Arsenal is going to – they're my dark horse candidate. They're going to continue to be my dark horse. I don't think Liverpool's winning it. They don't look that good when they're losing 7-2 to Aston Villa. Spurs aren't doing anything. City has a chance, but I would say of the teams that are favored to win it, City has the best chance. But I just feel like this is one of those years that a team is going to win it that's not supposed to. So at this point, I'll say Arsenal. I'll change this opinion in January if I feel I need to, but at this point, that's what it looks like.
All right, I'm going to be very quiet about this and then go downstairs and scream. But I'm not going to give you my opinion on the Premier League winner because I can't pick us yet. To be fair, if we beat City and I want to see us beat City and a Chelsea first, and then I'll go with it.
Yeah, the only reason I'm doing it is because I'm just basing it off what I see so far. So I can't say that this my opinion on this could change in a week or two. I haven't seen enough to really make a prediction. But if you're asking me now, based on what I've seen so far, that's the way I would go. If that makes sense.
It does. All right. Well, that's all the time we have tonight. That was a good show. Hope everybody enjoyed Cannon Snakes in the Olympico. I made my Law and Order return, if you could call it that, this week. And yeah, so have a good night. Come on, you Gunners. Forza Roma and Forza AC Milan. Have a good night.
See you guys later.